What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 25.
You selling it on eBay?
A $5 per roll.
That's pretty good value considering.
I know, right?
There you go.
Obviously, you know what we're talking about this episode.
No, what are we talking about?
Coronavirus, bro.
Right. No, it hasn't affected me one bit.
Yeah, coronavirus. I mean, it's kind of all over the news now. It's and it's definitely affecting musicians, that's for sure.
Definitely. Just the entertainment industry as a whole. I think anyone who's like in the arts really is getting hit hard by it.
You got West End, I've seen shutting down, like
really?
theatres and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I definitely see on Facebook at the moment people
Huge
having
artists.
gigs,
like the Who
gigs
are
cancelled.
doing a UK tour, and I think they've just re-announced some dates, but they had initially cancelled their tour.
Really?
Because they're in their 70s now, so
Yeah,
they're like the most risk.
Prime.
Yeah,
Prime at risk.
bastards.
Well, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, like, yeah, in our sort of environment, anyway, like the weddings and the parties, the function bands and that sort of stuff. I mean, yeah, people have had gigs cancelled and stuff. A lot of gigs cancelled.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like all up in the air at the moment as what's to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, we're in a wait and see mode for now.
Yeah.
Like I know, over in Ireland, the government have said you can't have any weddings with more than 100 people attending. And yeah, we'd have to wait and see whether it's going to affect, people cancel. I don't know. I mean, if you were getting married in June this year, and you had between 80 and 120 people come in, would you worry about it? Would you want to cancel it and do it one time? Or
you'd be concerned, definitely. I think you probably you're thinking, I guess, like old people are the most, like anyone with a medical history or some issues at the moment, and old people, isn't it? Older people,
yeah,
they're the most at risk from this disease. And then, but it's not to say, they said on the announcement today, it's not, don't like take that as I'm 30, I'm 20, like I'm all good. You know, you can, like, there still will be people in their 20s, 30s, 40s who will die from this.
Yeah.
But the more at risk group is that older age and already health issues. So yeah, if I was getting married, I don't know, I guess you got to think what happens by that point as well. But also, do you not invite older people? Do you postpone it so like everyone can come?
It's boring anyway.
But I don't know, like my mate Ben, he's got the same issue. Like his brother is meant to be getting married next month.
Oh no.
And his concern, my mate Ben, his concern for that wedding going ahead is his older gran or something like that,
Yeah.
She's in her 70s, like, and she's got to come down from the country down south, and it's like, you're putting someone at risk who's more at risk already. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's kind of all up in the air. I think gig wise, we have had one gig at the moment being moved from next month. So we're currently in March when we're recording this, towards the end of March now. And yeah, April, I don't know what's April looking like. It's kind of like most people have kind of written that month off, haven't they?
Yeah, it seems as like between now and the end of April, I think everything's going to be pretty much on lockdown.
Yeah.
Certainly with regards to shows. Like I know, like, the football, the Premier League's cancelled until the end of April.
All sports are pretty much gone, aren't they?
Yeah, like all the American sports have finished. I know, like, one of the biggest events of the year, like WrestleMania, the wrestling event, they're doing that at their own performance centre in front of 0 people. Yeah. Just going to be an empty arena.
That is another thing that certain companies are still putting on these events, but they're having no audience. Yeah. So you got, like, I think it was the last UFC fight.
That's right. That was completely...
The one... Who was the headline?
We'd have to Google it. Wasn't it Lee? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Kevin Lee versus... Lee. I can't remember the other dude's name.
Yeah.
And yeah, apparently that whole show was in front of no one except for like the teams and like judges and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I saw pictures on Instagram. It's like, it was such a weird sight, just the ring, a few people around it, and then nothing.
I think that is, you're gonna get such good PR because you could easily cancel an event in this kind of time, but for you to say, no, do you know what, we're gonna give people a bit of an escape from not the best time in the world, let them have a bit of fun and we'll put on the show for them. I think that's it's going to be good PR for that company who's doing
you got April 18th. I mean, this is for anyone who watches UFC. I'm a big fan, you're a fan as well, but like April 18th, they got one of the biggest fights.
That the Khabib Ferguson fight.
Yeah, it's the Khabib Ferguson fight, man. It's one of the biggest fights really the UFC's ever made.
It's going to be in front of no crowd.
Yeah, it's going to be like, I don't think they would cancel that unless there was like massive necessity for canceling it. You know, like a team member was ill or something like that, or there's injury or something. But yeah, maybe it goes ahead with no crowd. Like, but that's what we're seeing more of at the moment. Like, I guess it makes sense because like people at home, like especially in England now anyway, it's not a rule, but it's like you're being told to stay at home, self-isolate, don't meet up with people if
Across
you don't need
Europe,
to.
it is like proper lockdown.
Yeah, like Italy's locked down, China's locked down, like this country's completely
in
different.
France, if the only reason you're allowed out is if you're walking your dog.
Right.
If you found out anything for any other reason, you'll be arrested.
Really? Yeah. This is like proper restrictions now, yeah. That's the thing, like on the news and stuff, you're not really hearing much of any other countries like Germany. I haven't heard a peep of what the other countries are going through, you know?
Well, yeah, you're only hearing the stories of probably the most extreme cases. Like, for me personally...
and when was the last time you heard anything positive, anyway?
Well, yeah, I try to... I don't look to the news for positivity.
Of course.
Kerry's got me a surprise holiday for my 30th birthday.
Which is the end of April. Mid to
like
end,
April
right?
20th, I think we're going out. And... although it hasn't officially been cancelled by the booking company, whatever place we're going to, I don't know yet. Cause it's but the place we're going to, they've closed the borders.
Oh, really?
So we've just got to wait until the last minute to see if they're going to open up again. But yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I was talking with Kerry about this last night, and I think it's easy to get swept up in the hysteria and the doom and gloom, and and the just the kind of the gloom of you know, everyone's down and dumps and you know, people are like, oh god, I have to work from home and my kids are now going to be at school, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, like you get to, you know, be with your kid. I know it's going to be inconvenient a little bit having to work when your kids are around, but you're going to be at home with your family. You know, for those that are lucky enough to still be paid for working at home.
100%, yeah.
You might be at home with your family. You get to spend more time with your kids. It's like, look at it as a positive, not a negative.
Yeah.
I know it's going to make things a little awkward and stuff, but you know, that's life.
Yeah.
Life throws you challenges.
Yeah.
Just look at the bright side. I think there's so many. For me personally, I'm working from home now. I'm lucky enough to be getting paid. The type of job I do, you know, it's TV broadcasting. And so for my job, I'm able to do it from home, even though it's a little bit inconvenient. I can still crack on and do it. Yeah. And I just, you know, I'm just fortunate. You know, it's just, think of the things that you get to do with your time at home that you might not necessarily be able to do. You know, I'm saving money from not having to commute, so that's going into my house pot. Yeah, that's good for saving. You know, I'll be able to look at a lot more documentaries and things, and you know, read more books than I would normally. Yeah, I'm just trying to make use of it.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to look at this on the positive sides. What you can do with the time at home, practice as well.
Disney Plus is coming out in 5 days. You can watch the entire Marvel universe from start to finish.
That's if you can afford it.
Go nuts. Just
download it legally.
$4.99. Shit.
Is it $4.99?
I think so. Yeah.
I thought Disney Plus was like £50.
Well, for the year.
Oh, for the year.
$4.99 a month.
Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then they announced actually, which is quite cool. You know, Frozen 2's just come out in cinemas. They've announced that they're going to be releasing it on Disney Plus 3 months early.
Oh wow!
For everyone as like a little kind of, you know, here's a little thing to keep you going. Yeah.
Nice.
And just because of, you know, the times that we're in and everything, which is, I think that's the nice thing that you're seeing. You're just seeing a lot of goodwill from
companies and stuff.
Even if it is just, they're only, like, you know, I'm sure cynical people will be like, they're only doing it for PR. But it's like, well, so what? Yeah. They're doing a nice thing for people.
Yeah.
Just why don't
I said to you earlier, like I saw on Facebook a little article, and they were saying like a couple of, you know, obviously people staying at home now, a lot of them in our circle being musicians and stuff. There was like, I think it was
people working in the health service. Oh no, yeah.
The Moog thing, when they put an article up and they said like these companies have now got an app, but they've had the app out for ages, like you know, the Moog app or whatever. But now they've put it up for free for musicians working at home, and they can like just help out. You know, it's that type of thing, isn't it? It's like, and that's awesome, man. It's like, wicked. Like, it just helps you a little bit more.
I think if you kind of rummage through the shit that you hear on the news and social media, you will find pockets of like really nice gestures and goodwill, and people just, you know, seeing it as just picking the positives out of it. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I did, you know, my dad listens to the news 24/7 because of the job he's in, and he comes home and it's just like, this is like as if it's the end of the world. It's like it's not the end of the world. Like it's.
But if you listen, whatever you listen to, whether it's the news or whatever it is, whatever you listen to, and you get like that information driven into you from whatever source it is, that's what you're gonna feel like. It's what you're gonna think like, you know.
But I think it's that thing, you know, people are treating it as if we've never had an epidemic before. It's like, you know, you had the SARS thing a few years ago, you had Ebola. It just wasn't happening where we were. So no one was really fussed about it. Now it's happening to us. It's like, it's this terrible thing. And I know economically it could be very bad, and there's going to be a lot of people
it's already bad anyway.
Putting out business, and that's a terrible thing. And, you know, there's a lot of responsibility on governments to really support. You know, they're mentioning, I saw something on the news about potentially pushing everyone's mortgage and rent back 3 months.
Yes, it's a holiday, isn't it? Well, that's already happened, hasn't it? The mortgage thing.
Is that been confirmed?
But you have to have the illness. Like, you know, there's a reason why.
Is that the only?
Well, I think that's what it was, because I know a few people that have houses and pay mortgages and stuff like that.
Right.
And obviously, like, you don't get, like, if you're working and you're still earning money, then why are you going to have, like...
Can you not claim on it if you're not working, though? Isn't that the whole point, to help people that can't work?
Well, yeah, but you'd have to be ill to not work, right?
Well,
not necessarily. Yeah. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're like my mate Dan, he's working,
right?
So therefore, why should he like not be able to pay?
No, he doesn't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if your job like is not open,
if you were a contractor and you got binned.
Yeah, exactly. And you're working for them, then there's I think that's what it's for, more so than like, you know, every single person's now don't have to pay their mortgage, you know.
No, but that's fine though, because it should only be helping those that are in need.
Yeah, and there are going to be a lot of people, and even musicians and stuff. I also think there's a flip side to it as well. Is like, I think things like this, and they probably won't make any difference to those type of people, but it should be like, you know, a warning, like a alert of like, you know, the musicians who are full-time musicians who pay rent at their house, who like, you know, go from gig to gig, and I'm not saying every musician, but there's only a small bunch of them, but like, or even not just musicians, but like, I'm talking about people who just live today, like, you know, YOLO, and like, you know, so I mean, like, they haven't got no savings behind them, they ain't got no like anything to help themselves for when shit hits the fan, and this is shit hitting the fan, and then they are, you know, oh, like, woe is me, like, help me out, like, give me some money, like, you know, go fund me or shit like that. It's like, you didn't fucking do anything yourself for when shit does hit the fan. Like, the last financial like dip was like 2008. So we didn't really see that. Like, we were like, all our age group musicians around who we know, like, we were just finishing uni, we were starting uni at that time. Do you know what I mean? So we weren't in like full-time work or anything like that. So we haven't really seen this, and this is now the first time. And it's going to happen again, whether it's in 10, 20 years, it's going to happen again. Whether from, like, not a disease, but from something else.
Yeah, if you're in an industry where...
If you're in arts and stuff like that, I mean, it's given that you don't earn much money anyway. You don't have much of a, you know, it's not something you do for money. But at the same time, like, you have to always be prepared. And not in like a stock your shelves and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fucking...
But you should have a rainy day fund. Yeah. That can keep you going for a month, maybe 2.
Yeah, like normally if someone gets paid for a gig and like they have that one-off gig that pays them like 800 quid, let's say, and like that happens once in a blue moon, let's say, right? Then what majority of people probably won't save that money. They're probably like, they'll probably go buy a new piece of gear. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, like...
Don't have fun, people.
No, but what I'm saying is people generally try to save when shit hits the fan. Like, now, people are like scrounging for money.
Yeah.
People don't save when it's lush and all, like, you know, all good. You know,
it's to do. Yeah, it's your mindset.
Yeah,
when it comes to
100%
spending
mindset.
Habits,
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I've got loads of money coming in. I'm all good. I'm gonna spend everything and not save anything.
Yeah.
And shit hits the fan. I got no money. Help me out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fuck you, man. Yeah. Fuck you. You know what I mean? If that's you, fuck you.
With that mentality,
I've seen shit on
the
Facebook.
The more you earn, the more you spend. So you're always like, oh, I'm struggling. Well, because you're fucking spending more.
Yeah.
So if you're earning more money, you shouldn't be spending more. You should be just putting more away.
100%.
That's the mentality to have.
Yeah, exactly, man. But there's all different kinds of people. There's people that save all the time. You know, we're talking a small minority. I'm not talking about everyone.
Yeah.
But anyway, I definitely think this kind of situation is one of those situations, especially in the UK, like you said. It's here now. It's with us. We're seeing it. It's affecting, like, you know, people we know, us and stuff like that. So it's like real. Whereas when it's somewhere in a different country, you don't tend to think of it, you know? You just think,
that's it.
Don't affect me, I don't give a shit. You know, that's generally the mindset of everyone has. Yeah. But now it's real, now this shit is here. I really think, like, and I'm, like, obviously this is a musician, more so, channel that we're on. I just really think it's time to, like, really put some things in place, like, you know, like, learn from this. Like, obviously, we can do stuff with our time, like you were saying before, where you have all this free time probably where you're at home and doing the sensible thing of, like, you know, not going out if you don't have to. So use that time to practice, use the time to, like, really, because this is going to pass eventually, and it's something we're trying to do as well, which is, like, it may affect us for the next couple of months, but then, you know, hopefully June, July, August, sometime like that, like, hopefully in summer, but if not, whenever it happens, whenever it all disappears and things go back to normal, there's going to be that need for all these businesses back again. You know, every industry's.
I mean, if you look at it, you know, best case scenario, when we're told that, you know, I know they're saying it's extremely unlikely, but let's say best case scenario, 3 months from now, they found a vaccine. You know, we can go back to normal. There's going to be such a desire for people to want and go out and have nights out and have events. There might be a huge boom, you know, short term like boom in like way more gigs because everyone's like, I've been trapped inside for 2 months. I want to go and see a show. I want this bar to have music.
You never know. Could definitely be the way.
You know, so don't just keep working.
I think we as musicians and stuff like that, we have to survive this, obviously, like health wise, I mean, as well as
that would be ideal.
Yeah. You don't want me go dying on us now. I mean, like, so
we need subscribers.
But we need to survive this, right? But at the same time, we need to prepare for for that green light that happens at the end of it, you know? So when all's said and done and it's all over, you need to have prepared through this hard time as well, I think. I think that's probably the two most important things. Survive and get through it, but also prepare. You know, don't just get through it at the end and just be like, oh, thank fuck. But now I'm starting to, like, build shit back together and build up the band and build things like that. You need to do it at the same time as just surviving this thing, you know? Whether it's, like, just, you know, small things, you know, like still updating your social media or posting still or still keeping things going, you know,
if anything, you could argue social media is going to be more important than ever.
Yeah, everyone's going to be fucking at home.
Yeah, more people are going to be on it.
Absolutely.
So it's more of an opportunity to sell yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Or like research, you know, and just stuff like that and find out things and find how you can improve things when you start gigging again, you know. Anything. It's just, it's about the hustle, you know.
I think because I've only been working from home for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And I've been a bit... I haven't made the use of the extra time I've had. It's been just because it's like it's a new thing. For the first day or two, it was almost like this is a treat because I'm working from home kind of thing. And then so I was just relaxing a little bit. But now that I've done it for 2-3 days, now I'm you know, because on my commute to work into London, I have about 40 minutes on the tube, but I always read. So I'd always have about, you know, an hour and a half of reading every day.
Yeah.
And I've missed that just because I've been like, oh, I'll sleep an extra hour or I'll just relax. Blah, blah, blah.
Pussy, Dave.
I know. I am. Yeah. So I'm gonna make
it.
But now that it's been like, it's taken me a couple of days to be like, oh, no, man, come on, take advantage of what you've got.
Man. You don't want to slip into that comfort mode.
Nah. Comfort's for pussy. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I use that same amount of time.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the extra time that I have not commuting outside of tubes and stuff.
Yeah.
Just being productive, reading more. I'm going to focus on reading. Going to keep up my running. And yeah, you know, I've got a lot more time to practice. So yeah, just going to trying to, like, because I might be home for a month, maybe more.
Yeah.
it's locking in those habits early.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
making
Again,
sure I
done.
stick to them now.
Yeah. That's it. And you want to keep your mind busy as well, like your mental health. You know, because we're talking about physical health and stuff like that, but you want to keep like your mental right there. You know, like with the reading. Because anyone who's at home, yeah, they're moulding away. Do you know what I mean? It's like true. Like a lot of people might just stay at home, and you know, again, my mate Ben, he works from home anyway all the time. He's a graphic designer, and a lot of the time, and I think it's something he's found. I've noticed in him anyway, because I chat FaceTime every now and then with him. But like he is kind of isolated on his own. This is before the virus. This is like he has his own studio in the back of the garden.
He's been in the bunker.
This is like, I'll wait for this. But no, like so he's isolated anyway, and he feels like he doesn't work as part of a team. He's like, you know, on his own in his business. So yeah, what I'm saying is like I've seen him see the effects of like loneliness and things like that. But that's before this virus has even kicked in. Like, you know, like so. You imagine all people at home, obviously everyone's going to vary different of how much they're completely on their own and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, you just got to be aware that you don't want to, like, you do end up going crazy. We used to have it on the ships, didn't we? The cruise ships, you get cabin fever. You know, just inside, no windows, no air, and just like, fuck, and then you get off this ship, sea days and stuff, you know?
Yeah,
like,
you kind of need to push yourself to just get out and get some fresh air and get some... Because, you can... If you do slip into that laziness of like, oh, I'll just, you know,
I'll just Netflix
watch
tonight,
movies or whatever, and it can, you can kind of, it can start bothering you before you realise it.
And then it's too late. And you're 50 pounds heavier. You ain't practiced a damn thing.
You're about 5 kilograms of crisp bags through, like.
Yeah, man, it's true though. You just got to be wary of that shit. Like,
basically go outside for a run and cough in people's faces.
Yeah.
That was one thing I noticed. I went for a run yesterday, and it's just maybe I don't know. Maybe I was thinking too much into it because I was running at midday because I did it on my lunch. And maybe it's just quiet anyway. But it just seemed way more quiet than I expected it to be on a midday. It was like a ghost town.
But everything's quiet now, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's good. Have you seen the
just...
thing? There's a thing on the internet. I think it's Facebook. Venice got hit really hard, didn't it? Quite early on.
Is this about the pollution in Venice?
Yeah. Obviously, there's no boats. Yeah.
There's like fish coming back into the canal.
You imagine like that's probably going to have effects like similar to Venice, where the canals and the rivers and stuff have cleaned up, animals have come back, things like that. Like that's probably going to happen in other areas, like not just in Italy, but I'm saying in the UK, things like that. Yeah, like that's kind of a positive, you know. Yeah. And it'd be good if we could that happens, and then when it comes back to normal, you can kind of like work around that and let it continue it.
Yeah, because there's loads of tourist spots around the world that have had to start like limiting the number of tourists just because the amount of people that are going to see these places and trashing it and pollution and everything, they're just ruining these natural attractions. Like I know Machu Picchu, I think recently they've limited the amount of people that can go per year because the grounds just it's just becoming too damaged and they need to like give it a bit more time to preserve it and everything. Yeah. And so this is kind of
things like Great Barrier Reef. I mean, that was destroyed pretty much, wasn't it? Like by people like in there.
Just pollution and crap.
Yeah. So you got to hope that things like that start returning back to normal. I mean, maybe not that in particular, but like you're saying, like different things coming back to normal. But
again, that's just like
it, you know?
it's a positive spin on a bad thing that's happening.
Yeah, there's fucking silver linings to this shit, man.
Negative. No. Like, there are good things that are going to come out
any negative, there's always positive, man. There's always some kind of like good thing you can pick out of any negative situation. Always. Yeah. Always. Just depends on the mindset of that person.
I'm sure there's one guy that's going to have some like the most sad, horrible story. There's no positive. Apart from you, there's always a positive.
Maybe, maybe. But I think how should we end this? Got a few minutes left.
You want to just spit at each other?
Who's going to catch it first? Now, the podcast, you never know what's going to happen. We're still here. Still doing the podcast.
Well, we'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be here. I think just maybe end on some positives, some tips. Maybe in the spare time we can practice as musicians. We can, like, if we've got a band or anything we're running, or our own projects, like get those websites updated, get some stuff together ready for that green light, when it's all said and done, sort of thing. Like you said as well, maybe some like just keep those habits going if you've got any going,
or if you don't necessarily
don't go to the gym, go home workout, things like that.
Or if you don't have much habits but you've been wanting to start them,
now's
a great time to do it,
start
because you've got more time in the day.
Absolutely.
Start with little baby steps and then try and
100%.
keep it going.
Yeah.
Another thing, just try and appreciate, it might be a different scenario, but if you've got family, you can spend more time with your kids. That's there's something that when you're really old you might think, I remember when we had those 2 months at home with the kids, wasn't it awesome? The time that we had.
Because that's a good point as well, because like what you don't want to do is like have these 2 months off, 1 month off, however long it's going to be, and then like you said with the whole like I'm just going to enjoy this, like I haven't had this like in it forever, just going to watch Netflix, coast through all that time, and boom, we're back to normal. You're back at work. And you're like, oh shit, I was going to do that. I had this planned because I was back at home, blah, blah, blah. And then you've just missed all of it out. Like when you're on holiday, how quickly that goes. You go abroad and like for the first couple of days, you like acclimatise to it and shit like that. And then by the time it's ended, you're like, fuck, that went so quickly, Like, and this is going to be the same thing. Like, this is going to be gone before we know it. Like everything happens so fast all the time. Like, nothing bad lasts forever. When you're ill, like when you're physically ill and you're in bed with a flu or something like that, like, that eventually does end, and all you can wait for is to be better again, So it's just a matter of time, and we just got to make the most of the time, I think.
That's exactly it. Just make the most of it. It's not all bad.
No.
If you're fortunate enough to be working from home, or you're at home but you're still getting paid or whatever, then, just be appreciative, be thankful, make the most of it. If, you are a working musician and your gigs have been hit, you keep on working and hustling to get those gigs. There's going to be more people online. Social media is going to be a huge market that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, I would definitely think so.
Just more time to practice, more time to work on yourself, hone your own skills. Read a book that you've been thinking of reading for ages, but you've been putting it off because you can't
start
find the time.
some good healthy habits, isn't it?
Now's the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice one.
Stop wanking, John.
I can't help it, bro. Now more than ever. Right, we'll leave it at that, guys. That's episode 25 done. I hope you're keeping safe and staying alive. See you on the next one. Peace out.